the biggest producers in the game, you like who they are or know who they are because they rap. Right. Because they giving you their knowledge verbally. I could make an album with just music, but you ain't gonna know what I'm saying. You just gonna be able to ride. It'll probably be jamming, which I got some instrumental albums coming. Drummer Boy Live and a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? But you're just gonna imagine stuff. Yeah. But if I rap it to you and tell you my story, I'm from Black Haven. I came up, I moved from Black Haven to Cordova at 13. Just telling you how certain things derived and whatnot. Now you're gonna have a better understanding on it. So be verbal as producers. You know what I'm saying? And even when I made, beats, I would just, some beats, 5 beats, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. No Hands I made in 10 minutes because it was pressure. You got everybody looking at you, everybody in the room, all in one room, you know what I'm saying? Walker like, what you gonna do now, John? 50 Cent in here, Lloyd Banks in here, man, Roscoe Dash, Wale, right? You don't know who to make the beat for if you're a producer. So really you gotta just, from here, and just make what you feel like, okay, it's a celebration. Gucci just got out of jail. You know what I'm saying? We popping champagne and whatnot, so my adrenaline is already feeling like we in the club. So No Hands came off of that energy, because normally if I'm in the house by myself, and especially the earlier days where I ain't had the money like that yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm grinding, I'm stretching it out, trying to make sure this bill paid and this bill paid. So I'm normally in a stressful mind state. So most of the music that I made was aggressive, angry, triumphant, trying to overcome something. You know what I mean? And you just gotta stay true to what you're going through. I wouldn't have been able to make I'ma Do Me if I wasn't going through what I was going through, or I Put On for my city. Like that beat might have took me 8 hours to make. And because of the 8 hours, the power went out. Like literally probably 3 hours, three and a half hours into making the beat. So the power go out, I lost everything. So that made me even angrier, like, can't nothing stop me. Like I'm finna kill this, you know what I'm saying? And I started, once the power came on, I started making the beat over again. You know what I'm saying? And it just got even bigger, and like I went into different progressions. Literally when the lights came out, okay, I'll tell you this. When the power went out, I thought about Chicago Bulls. And I done told this story before, but I ain't never told nobody like how or what happened that day. But the electricity went out. And it literally made me think of Michael Jordan, like, you know what I'm saying? And I took that whole inspiration. That was like my favorite basketball team growing up. And it just still, when I sang them notes, it gave me chills. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, damn, I'm gonna bring this back. But I'm as a composer and an arranger, like, you know what I'm saying, or a musician, I can transpose, you know what I mean, and kind of create my own without copying that. So I'm gonna do my vibe of it, you know what I'm saying? And so completely different notes, completely different cadence, but still had that vibe, still had the bass note transition. And I'd say about 8 hours, I put on a couple other beats, and I called Jeezy, because I was like, can't nobody else rap on this but Jeezy. So some stuff you gonna know, like this is for this person, and then it'll mess you up when that person don't want it. And it end up being a huge record for somebody else. But when I took the CD to Jeezy, I always take like 5 beats. If you can't do it in 5 beats, you ain't gonna do it. I took 5 beats to Jeezy. He was like, man, the album done. It's the Recession. Now imagine me not on the Recession album. You know what I'm saying? It's still some heat. You know what I'm saying? It's still some bangers on that jump, but imagine me not on the Recession album. So, okay. He's saying the album done. I pulled up. Out of the 5 beats, he picked 3. And normally when somebody pick 3 beats, you might end up with 1. You know what I'm saying? But bitch, I'm amazing. Look what I'm blazing. I so low from the bitch that I'm blazing. Like, okay, I do amazing. Then we do Ambitions of a Hustler. I won't deny you. He bring back the Tupac. Yeah. Okay. I Put On for myself. Kanye. Like, Jay-Z on the remix? Come on, man, like imagine that, but it was some producers that was mad at me because somebody got knocked off the album. But you know, some beats gonna take 8 hours, some might take 10 minutes, man. You just gotta do what you feel and then keep perfecting it. If you feel like you can't play that for the best rapper in the game, then you gotta add something to it. You know what I'm saying? It might be day two or day 10 or day 35, or it might be next year. And you listen, I listen back to a lot of my beats 2016, 17, 18, like ooh, I can redo these drums or I can add this bass line to it, or I can, you know what I'm saying? It's always something that you didn't see, that you've learned and grown, and you be like, okay, now I know what to do with that. You know what I'm saying? And music is endless, at least, you know, from my eyes, like I make timeless music and you can always redevelop and edit. It's like a great story that you wrote, or a great script, or just a template of a script that you wrote, or a poem. And you always can edit this word like, damn, I left this incomplete. Let me finish this joint. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's like you go back to page 3 in your life, or page 2 in your life, or you know what I'm saying? It's like you go back and just see all of the work that you've done and be like, damn, even if you're drawing or sketch, like I would sketch through my notepad in school and I would go back through some of the sketches and looking like, damn, dog, like I gotta finish that. That'll be a dope tattoo, or that'll be a dope whatever, logo, or you know what I'm saying? Whatever. So, you know, unfinished work is like a treasure. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta refine it, put that polish on it, you know?
I gotta interrupt because hip hop, this is a historic moment that I am proud to be a part of. There's another legend that just walked in. I hope you'll come up here. I want to get this on tape. Is it called tape now? On camera, whatever. Tape for what? But I gotta get Easy Mo B to meet Drumma Boy. He said he never met him. Easy Mo B, I hate to put you on the spot, but please come up here and meet Drumma Boy. Y'all know who Easy Mo B is, y'all? Easy Mo B. I'm talking about Flavor in Your Ear, Biggie, Tupac, Alicia Keys, Miles Davis, Busta Rhymes.
Wow.
He made those hits. So,
This is
Big salute.
Easy Mo B. So you heard it first here. Easy Mo B meets Drumma Boy. Two legends in the building, y'all. Give it up for hip hop production.
That's an amazing story though about how he bumped songs just for you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, nah,
Somebody was hurting bad.
Yeah, somebody was pissed off. For sure.
He's that way sometimes.
Michael Jordan, man, you gotta aim for the best. So you can't really, you know what I'm saying? But I always give back to the producers, do events. You know what I mean? I help people get placements, or you know what I'm saying, just get spotlight. I'm reposting my story. We started a wave called Producers Wave. You know what I mean? Where I sell my kits and we do collabs, beat battles, all kind of events just to bring us together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Salute to you though. You know, gotta mention the 50 years of hip hop.
Oh yeah.
Like, brother, we blessed. You know, we go back to a time where you could have found yourself in the street. We could have ended up, you know, gang warfare, doing anything. But with the gift given to us from God, we can express ourselves through music, through this equipment, and then that goes out to the people. So,
people who don't know your story, can you tell them how you became a 4-time New York Times best-selling author? And you did this from the prison house, correct? Please explain, how did that happen?
Well, I didn't hit the New York Times bestsellers list until I came home. As soon as I came home, my new book came out, Thug Matrimony, and I was on my way to the dentist to get my braces. And my agent called, Mark Gerald. He said, Wahida, he talks to us all, Wahida, you hit the New York Times bestseller. I said, what? What does that mean? He said, that's big. You hit the New York Times bestsellers list. So that was the first time. But also that same agent, as soon as I came home, Slim and Baby, my genre is called street lit, and it was just blowing up. So, you know, they business people. So Slim and Baby, they started to imprint Cash Money content for the books. And my agent said, Wahida, they want you to be the first one to kick off their imprint. So I was like, shoot, you ain't even got to say that twice. So I signed up with them, and my first 3 books out the gate with them hit the New York Times bestsellers list. So that's how I got 4 New York Times bestsellers. But I had started writing while I was serving a 10.5-year federal prison sentence. When I came home, I had written 7 books. I had 2 major publishing deals, one with Kensington, one with Hachette. And again, as soon as I came home, I signed with Cash Money, and that really just catapulted my career.
So is it true you were sent to the hole for 6 months for writing books?
9 months. 9 months. When my first book got published, they called me down to the lieutenant's office and held up the book and wanted to know how I did this under their watch. But they had gave a class on creative writing, so I took the class and did the work, and I got published. And they punished me for doing that, but it was a blessing, because when they sent me to the hole, I was able to write another book. And also in the federal joint, you can't write other prisons. But the hole for me at the federal prison camp was a county jail, so you can write anybody. So in the county jail, all the chicks, they had pen pals. And they didn't have 1 or 2 pen pals. They was writing 10, 20 dudes at a time. So when I saw that, I called home. I said, make me some flyers, put a picture of the book on one side in the order form, and make copies and send them to me. So they did that. So I gave all the girls a stack of flyers, and they was right in the prisons. That's when my flyers start going through all the prisons in the country, and then that's when I start blowing up right there in the county jail in the hole.
Wow.
Dedication.
Drummer Boy, can you tell us about how was it working with Drake?
It was fast. You know what I mean? When I first got a car, I forget my dude's name, but he like a goon in Canada. I had been to Canada a couple times. So he was like, yo, it's this dude. He's from Degrassi. And I didn't know what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, it's this dude from Degrassi, da-da-da. He about to start doing music. You know what I'm saying? He was like, man, I think y'all should work, da-da-da. And anytime I get them kind of calls, I always be open to it. Like, everybody who know me, like, bro, I love finding new talent. I love being a part of, the beginning of the career, because it just means so much more as opposed to getting with folks who already on. So I was like, all right, bet, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So he did a session at the studio called Hot Beats off of 14th Street. And it's like right next to this Shell gas station. It ain't there no more. But, you know what I'm saying? We got in the studio. We was in the A room. And he walks in, and he's like, yo, John, good to meet you, bro, da-da-da-da. He's like, man, play me some fire. You know what I'm saying? And I started playing some beats, woo. He's like, whoa, pull that up. You know what I mean? Like, artists who know what they want, the best artists to work with in the game. Like, knowing what you want to just waste so much time. Because I work with a lot of artists who be like, what you think I should do? You know what I'm saying? Da-da-da. And they don't even know, they haven't even found their niche. They you know what I'm saying? It's like they're earlier in their career. So working with Drake was as soon as he pulled up the beat, he went in the booth and literally mumbles like 3 or 4 times, all right, take it back. And first line, like, you know, like, I got money to blow. He did the hook, he did a verse. What's crazy about this story is he does the song 30 minutes, all right, peace, I'm gone. And at this time in my career, I wasn't the producer to back up a session on a hard drive. I ain't gonna lie to you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was there, you know, we smoking, you know what I'm saying, just high, I'm feeling good. You do the song and all right, peace, gone. I don't even got the session. So literally like maybe 5-6 months go by, I start seeing this shit online. You know what I mean? Drake hook, verse, and open verse. It was like an open verse. It was like the bounce or whatever that I had, but I ain't had a session. So now everybody dropping verses on this song. And Drake ain't even Drake at this time. So the song just sitting on the internet. All these different verses going on a different song. And a year later, Birdman called me. After Drake had did his deal with Cash Money, I think maybe like 8 months after that. So bam, literally 4 months after Drake had signed the Cash Money, which is a year since we did the song, Birdman called me like, say, Lemon. You still got that beat, huh? And shit, and I was like, yeah, I got that shit. Like, I bet I'm gonna put a verse on it. Lil Wayne gonna put a verse on it.
Wow.
Literally, 20,000 was in my bank account in like 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? If you hear all this different business about Birdman and he don't pay publishing, it's how you handle your business and handle who you are. You know what I'm saying? I had entertainment in place. I put my attorney with his attorney, and I got my publishing. I got 50% off of Money to Blow. So
I got my publishing with
get
them
to
too.
shaking something, because that's what DRUMMA produced it for.
Classic. Oh,
Absolutely.
that's beautiful. So let's bring it back to Wahida Clark. You talk about the business of this. I got books. So what made you start a publishing company? What made you actually say, you know, I'm gonna publish books instead of just being an author?
Well, while I was in prison, and remember my flyers was going through all the prisons throughout the country, and the dudes was like, this girl writing books. They was like, I can do it too. So they started sending me manuscripts and saying to put me on. I'm an inmate, so they sending me manuscripts. The mailroom calling me down there. I got in trouble. They said I was running a business. I get down there, they got manuscripts and mail, and they like, Miss Clark, you cannot run a business while you here in the prison. I said, my address is in the book, so people are just writing me from the address. So I got in trouble again. They put me in a hole again, but every time they put me in a hole, I write another book. But that's how I ended up starting a publishing company, because some of those manuscripts that I was getting was fire.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So to ask you about business of music, how important is it to have your paperwork straight when you creating these fire beats?
It's essential. It's essential. Like, you know, you see people selling their catalog, right? For, you know, 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, 100 million, whatever, you know what I mean? And you wouldn't have that value if you didn't have ownership. So I wrote this music, I should own it. You know what I mean? And the first step of that is copyright. The second part of that, since it's a contractual business, is an entertainment attorney. And without those things, as a producer, if you don't have a producer agreement, you're not technically entitled to the residuals, royalties, and publishing. So now you gotta, first of all, BMI or ASCAP, which is an IPI number, is only collecting your writer's share and your producer share. So that's just one check or 2 checks. But then you still have a royalty rate as a producer, which is 3% standard for a producer. Sometimes it escalates if, let's say you go gold or platinum. My entertainment attorney would negotiate now. If this go gold, he need to escalate to 4%. If it go platinum, he need to escalate to 5%. You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother thing that you're not going off the top ask for or no for. You just, man, where my upfront money at? Let me get this 1,000. Or let me get this 1,500. Or let me get this, you know what I mean? Like, $200 is all you get, and this song go platinum. When you could have had maybe 200,000-300,000. So like, you ain't a millionaire, but now I can buy a house, I can fix my credit, I can pay off student debt, whatever. You know what I mean? You don't know what you got going on. I can pay my rent. I can buy some more equipment to reinvest into what I want to do, regardless of what my career is. So the business is essential. It's 90% of the business.
And I want to congratulate you on the song "No Hands" with Waka Flocka just hit diamond status.
Oh yeah.
Give it up to DRUMMA. Not platinum, diamond. That's good.
It's a blessing.
For those who is recording, can you give us those 3 that you just said again?
We're talking about publishing.
Right.
We're talking about mechanical royalty, and then you're talking about your splits. So, you know, as a producer, that 50% that you're getting as a producer, you still gonna get. As DRUMMA Boy, I get 50%. As Christopher Golson, I get 50%. See what I'm saying? That's my writer share. That's my publishing share. So technically, you have 200% of the song. It's 2 sides of it. There's 100%, which means 50% of it is music, 50% of it is lyrics. And then depending on who wrote what, that goes down to another piece of sheet of paper that you need, which is called a split sheet. On that split sheet, it'll show you, okay, if I did the beat myself, 50% of the music is me. So throughout my career, it's just easy for me to sign off on shit because I'm the only one who did it. You know what I'm saying? But when I got a few beats with 3,
That's amazing.
some with 5 producers. You know what I mean? Just that half of it slows stuff down. Even on No Hands, Walker, Roscoe Dash, Wale, at the time, nobody wanted the song. At the time, we didn't do a split sheet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the minute that motherfucker got to going crazy, niggas get nervous. I need 25%. I did the hook and I did the verse. Roscoe trying to get half off the rip, like, you know what I'm saying? Because things weren't negotiated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that held up the money for about a year and a half until everybody came to an agreement. All right, Roscoe 20%,
Wow.
this, Wale this, Walker this.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't had to argue with nobody because I did the beat by myself.
Go ahead, bro.
But it's held up on the other end because of the writers. You know what I'm saying? So it's essential to have a split sheet to know who did what. You know what I'm saying?
So how do you feel in a room, you know, like sometimes like when you go to a session and there's a good vibe and you're dealing with people that may not facilitate business the same way you do, and they say, oh yeah, we'll handle the splits and we're gonna make sure that's all done. We're gonna get that together.
It's a gamble.
Yeah.
It's a gamble. So videotape that shit. Have a phone on, have a recording on, showing you coming up with the hook. Hey, this the part I made up. Hey, what's up, everybody? And they might get mad. Hey, bro, how many times you gonna pull your phone out, bro? Whoa. Don't put that on Instagram or don't be leaking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people be how they be. But you gotta figure out 2 things. Okay, if I am gonna stick around, I'm gonna find some way to document what I've done. You know what I'm saying? And put it in my phone and and I got videos and proof of what I'm saying. The second part of that is, if they don't value your value, then it's the wrong room I'm in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be willing to take sacrifice because you in there with a big person, so they gonna have some stipulations. But you could have been with somebody from your hood or on your block, spending that same time, and now y'all own everything. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta go to a place where they look at you as a valuable situation and respect what you. Sync is a different thing. Like sometimes they offer 10, sometimes 25%, sometimes 35%. It's hard to see 100% of sync, just because of the music supervisor got to save him some, and the person who connected you, like, you know what I'm saying. The sync is different unless it's a song that's already like Shawty or Plies or No Hands or something that I've already done, but then it'll still have a sync percentage. So, you know, that's tricky, but any sync is like extra money. That's how you gotta look at it. That's like extra. I already did the work. The song already there. Yeah, you can license it. Of course, I'm gonna get a little upfront fee, and I'm gonna make some rollover money. You know what I'm saying? I did a shoe carnival commercial. It was 3 people involved. They probably paid like $165,000. I walked away with maybe $65,000 up front because of who I had to go through and all of that type of, you know what I'm saying? But on the back end, I made like $300,000 just on how many times they were playing the commercial. You know what I'm saying? Super Bowl commercials or any of that, ESPN and any of those type of placements, just the beat alone, like, you up, bro. You know, people making a living, making $5-10 million a year just on sync. So I'm definitely have been focusing on more of that lately, but I'm just still my heartbeat with the artists and songwriters and making music still.
I love it.
Get into the book Behind the Hits. What is your favorite story or chapter inside that book? What you say?
My favorite story gonna always be, man, proving my dad wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my first hater. That was my like, it was just like, you know what I'm saying? I was raised by the orchestra in a sense, cause he ain't have time for no babysitter. So I would literally go to every Nutcracker performance, every opera performance, every concert. So rehearsal, then the show. Rehearsal, then the show. So I knew what the show was gonna be before, you know what I'm saying? So I would, you know, start learning how to help people to their seat. I'm helping selling tickets. I'm in a concession stand, cool with the I'm cool with the janitors. I'm cool with everybody. My dad was a doctor, Dr. Golson, so they call him Dr. Golson. We're worried about Chris. All that type of, you know what I mean? I'm in the trap. I'm you know, complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? And as a father, I bet you ain't got no credit card. It was just busting me down. I ain't had no bank account. I ain't had no shit. It was just like, and literally like 10 months later, man, taking him that account, it was like $150 in that account. Man, that's the best feeling ever.
What'd he do? What'd he say?
We've been best friends though. He just like, you know what I'm saying? He said, I'm right around on getting it. Right around on getting it. Like, okay, let me hold 20,000. Like, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So you gotta conquer your biggest hater. Once you do that, bro, ain't nothing or something I can see on social media or nothing nobody else can say or you hear something talking about you. Woo, woo. Mama say you can make it in Memphis, you can make it anywhere. And that goes for your hometown or wherever you from. If you can make it out your hometown, bro, you can make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And the more that you make it out your hometown, the more that you brought me to her. And Wahida was just special. Like, of course you heard of her. She was a myth to me. I ain't never know what she looked like. I ain't never even think to look her up or none of that stuff until I was like, man, I got somebody who she work with, man, Wahida Clark. I'm like, damn. And she was messing with Bird. You know what I'm saying? And we already dealt with the same people. Like, I made hits with Bird. You made hits with Bird. Like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And just the game, the knowledge. Like, she sounded like me on the book side, but just the music side.
Book side.
You know what I mean? And it wasn't it was like, okay, it's gonna be some money now. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna cost you. You know what I mean? But the value of that, you know what I mean? Like, and what that's done and the rooms that I've been in, and just people light up when they see me working with her. So at the end of the day, you gotta do your business. Just like how I scream and preach, I had to do that same thing with her. On the other end.
So Wahida, how was it working with DRUMMA?
Before Nikki was just interviewing me, she was asking me the same thing. As a publisher and as someone who has clients, you look for that perfect client. He's a perfect client.
What?
Business-minded, professional, coachable, a hustler. Because most people think when you write a book, you just write it, kick back, and money start rolling in. No, once the book is out, the day it's out, that's when the real work starts. Books do not sell themselves. It's a constant hustle and grind. However, if you work it right, you can use that book to catapult so many other things,
Which
So
we
he's-
have done. Behind his documentary
We just
is
got
in
started,
effect.
right? We just
Yeah.
getting started, for real.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Nah, it definitely opened up a documentary, it opened up a movie. You know what I'm saying? And I took the Nipsey approach. Like, I'm selling each book as far as hand in hand, $100 a book. So y'all get a great opportunity tonight to be able to buy these books for $40. This is the first book signing that you'll be able to do that.
Yep.
At, you know what I'm saying? Because otherwise it would have been $100.
$100. I
So
see
go ahead
it.
and yo, you know what I'm
$100
saying?
a pop.
Straight up.
Anybody have any questions? I don't want to take up anybody's time.
Any more questions? Well, we can get to it, man.
Any more questions?
Y'all ready to buy a book?
Let's do it.
Let's
Give
do
it
it.
up for Wahida and DRUMMA Boy.
Already. There's some music in this thing.
Anything you want to say to DRUMMA Boy?
Man, keep winning. You're gonna do that anyway though, but you know what I'm saying? We just gonna strive for the best, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but the top to reach, you know what I'm saying? Young Ledger.
Yeah.